Chapter 16. Clara's Beau. It must be added that Clara, known since 1926 as the hottest jazz baby in films, soon had her own headlines across the country's front pages. The tabloids screamed, "Clara's Love Balm Romance," and the avid readers learned that the prolonged therapy she had been receiving for nerves and insomnia from Hollywood's most expensive and dashing society physician, bedside-mannered Dr. William Earl Pearson, consisted in the repeated application of Dr. Pearson's arrow on the naked, prostrated Beau. The love balm was rubbed in on a nightly basis until Pearson's wife put a private eye on her medic husband's tail. The trail ended in the Chinese den of Clara's Beverly Hills hacienda. Clara lost some sleep when Mrs. Pearson named her correspondent in a divorce petition suing La Beau for alienation of affections. The tab squeezed every drop of juice out of the love balm scandal featuring Hollywood's hottest jazz baby, and Clara was soaked for $30,000 by the good doc's neglected spouse. Clara moved on to run up spectacular front-page Reno gambling debts, but her hottest scandal did not erupt until 1930. In 1930, Clara's trusted private secretary, Daisy DeVoe, an Eve Harrington-ish, bright-faced blonde, sold all the ins and outs of the It Girl's nonstop love life during 4 frenzied years to the highest-paying tabloid, New York's quasi-porno, Graphic with a capital C. Clara fired Daisy after an attempt at blackmail, and this was DeVoe's revenge. The Graphic's avid readers soon learned just how devoted Miss DeVoe had been. She kept tabs on all the gentlemen callers to Clara's Chinese den. The benign Buddha that presided there didn't talk, but Daisy made up for it. The 4-year register of Clara's Beau read like a roll call of He-Man talent. In addition to agreeable Doc Pearson, the list ranged from comics, such as Eddie Cantor, to cowboys, such as Rex Bell and newcomer Gary Cooper, to heavies, such as Bela Lugosi. And that wasn't all. The list in Graphic installments was just a little too long. Poor gregarious Clara took on Trojans by the bunch. She'd play party girl to the entire thundering herd, that is, Crack University of Southern California football team, during beery, brawling, gang-banging weekend parties, accommodating the fun-loving bruisers right down to the 11th man, hulking tackle Marion Morrison, later known as John Wayne. The Golden Circle decided Clara had gone a little beyond bounds, as her considerable venereal achievements were not just dressing room gossip, they were reported on page 1. The It Girl was said to have showered her beloved thundering herd with gold cigarette cases and cufflinks, furnished several Trojan frat houses, which housed her sex athletes, with bootleg booze, and squandered her cash-paying all-night poker in the kitchen with her chauffeur, cook, and maid. Clara took Daisy to the L.A. courts. After a battle with cat fur and lurid charges on both sides, Miss DeVoe was packed off to jail for pilfering large sums from the Beau bank account. Clara's victory was hollow. All those red-hot headlines hurt. The incandescent redhead had become too hot to handle. She married Rex Bell in an effort to cool things down, but her career hit the skids and she slid over the edge into the first of a series of nervous breakdowns. Before signing on at the sanitarium, she issued a statement. "I've been working hard for years, and I need a rest. So I'm figuring on going to Europe for a year or more when my contract expires." When her contract expired, some months later, oft-burnt Paramount did not renew. The case of the blowing valves had not helped. Her first talkie, The Wild Party, tried to milk those headlines. Her first scene called for her to dash into a girl's dorm with the line, "Hello, everybody." The sound mixing engineer in the monitor room, unfamiliar with the Brooklynese boom of Clara's voice, didn't tune down his dials for Clara's greeting. She made her entrance, hollering, "Hello, everybody," and blew every valve in the recording room. As a guy who's been doing this audiobook, I can tell you I have made that mistake before. The eclipse of Clara Beau, who had been for an entire generation flaming youth personified, cinched Hollywood's reputation as the place where girls go wrong. The public bought it for a fact. Clara just couldn't have learned to carry on like that back in sedate old Brooklyn. The round of clergymen, politicos, and purity leagues took up the call once again, and with all the furor of the lynch-fatty days, another luminary shot down in flames. After Clara had proved herself a scarlet woman, the answer man of the pulpit, Dr. S. Parks Cadman, adjudged Hollywood with doomsday finality, the cemetery of virtue. That is the end of this chapter. I just wanted to say that if you ever sit down and again watch the movie Babylon, which there's a scene where Margot Robbie basically ends up doing this, and there's just nothing but discontent between the sound guy, the director, the producer, the Oh, it's kind of a funny scene because you know for a fact this kind of stuff happened, and there were a lot of arguments about, can we move the mic? Oh God, no, we can't move the mic. That would take too long. And I didn't realize that that particular scene was referencing this. But again, I've done VO and stuff before, and you get just a tad too close to the mic, or you elevate your voice a little too unexpected, and oh my God, that hypersensitive equipment just explodes on you. Anyway, that is enough of my rambling. Thank you again.